Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Kirby. I am a doctor of Christian counseling and not a medical doctor, but I have a series called How's Your Health? And I want to share with you specifically today about something that came to my attention a few years ago. It's the differences of what the RDA and the ODA are. First of all, you're going to think RDA, what is that? Well, when I tell you, you're going to go, oh, yeah, that. The RDA stands for Recommended Daily Allowance. It's a minimum level set by the government in order to avoid a deficiency disease of a particular nutrient, such as how much vitamin C you'd need to avoid rickets, or rickets for vitamin D, scurvy for vitamin C. And these standards have been set by the government for some time, and they were actually established during World War II of basically what it would keep to sustain nutrition to keep the soldiers going. And it has continued on and been modified off and on ever since, but it sets the standards for school lunches and for other government free food programs. And so it's bare minimum standards, and some would argue. The interesting one is the ODA, and I did not know about the ODA until a few years ago when I went to see a naturopath. And naturopaths used to study side by side with allopaths, or what we often refer to as the medical doctors today. And a naturopath orders more intensive labs usually for good reasons, but also they often go by something called the ODA, which is the Optimum Daily Allowance. And sometimes that's even referred to as the SODA, which is the Suggested Optimum Daily Allowance. And those can be often up to 3 times more than the RDA. And people, as they age especially, could find themselves in risk areas where they're not absorbing enough vitamins, and if they're going or nutrients, and if they're using the RDA value, they could really be falling well below what they need. So because of this, just wanted to share that the ODA has been based upon numerous studies by nutritionists and recommendations by them and scientists. So it's something seriously a food for thought for you. I'll give you an example of a difference between the RDA and the ODA. The RDA, Recommended Daily Allowance, for example, of vitamin D would be 5 micrograms. The optimum for vitamin D would be 11 micrograms. So from 5 to 11, that's pretty significant. B12, the recommended daily allowance for B12 is 1 microgram versus the ODA is 25 micrograms. So 1 versus 25. So it's quite a difference there. There's a little bit of difference in each one. I really do not see, and I will put the chart in the comments and the link to this wonderful site that I found about the ODA. And I would just encourage you to do your own research about RDA and ODA, and prayerfully consider, Jesus is the great physician, and prayerfully consider what he wants to say to you about your intake. He may even recommend something that is not on the usual vitamins list. For me, revelation from him was to take, believe it or not, milk thistle. And I'd never heard of milk thistle. Milk thistle actually is helping to detox the liver. So just recently, he gave me a revelation about someone that needed ginger. So I would encourage you to take charge of your health and learn more about what the RDA and the ODA mean. And I just bless you in your journey. You're welcome to reach out. I'd be glad to pray with you and seek the Lord's counsel.